Well, I've had enough time to assess this new situation of mine and not really sure what to think of it. Man, you move from, point A to point B, and there's a straight line, and there's the fastest way to get there, then there's that, and then there's that regret. God damn, I wish I didn't know the fastest way to get there, because if I could find a slow way, I never would have got there, never would have done it. Oh, boy. But I moved from the laid back era. And I think there are places. Well, there are. Because when I was in college, let's go to 1981, summer of 1981. One of my fraternity brothers, two of us lived in the house, and we decided to, we were working for another I guess you're never ex-fraternity, but a guy who had been fraternity a decade or two prior, whatever it was, and he would come to the activities and, chaperone and keep an eye on us, make sure we didn't do anything too illegal. And so he had given us a job and working on some of his investment properties. I had some carpentry skills, and my buddy Jeff did as well. We both came from San Bernardino. And so anyway, we used to have lunch with Andy. We'd be working on one of his houses. We'd all sit down. We'd have a sandwich. He'd buy us a sandwich every day. So it wasn't bad. We were only making, I forget what it was, summer wages, $5 an hour or something. Enough to get you by, pay the rent in the fraternity, save up a little bit for tuition and books for the coming year. And he told us about his childhood. Not necessarily childhood, but when he was younger, when he was in the fraternity, and he had taken a trip on out to Montana and worked on a dude ranch. Now, right away, I grew up around cowboys and motorcycle racers and horses and all that stuff, and I thought, man, that sounds good, Take the motorcycles out of the equation. All you got is the horses and maybe some of the horse women. Whew. Yeah, hot Ellie Mae. So it's like, get out there to Montana. Beautiful. Sun stays up till 10 at night. You get crystal clear rivers and lakes and so on. And working on a dude ranch, getting in shape. Doing whatever it is you do on a dude ranch. We never did find out because we didn't get a job. But our friend, I'll just go ahead, his name is Andy. Andy has gone on to the bigger dude ranch now. I don't know where he prefers to spend his time. But we went out there and we couldn't get a job. Just couldn't find some employment. We offered to do anything. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll clean the stalls. I'll brush anything, right? Couldn't get a job. Now, the positive part of this is that we were, hell, should I go ahead and use the fraternity name in this? Probably not. So I'm just going to say, so we're members of a certain fraternity. And not to say, this fraternity is responsible for anything bad that's ever happened, but pretty much every fraternity has had someone go through it that caused some trouble at one point in time. And I don't want to draw any unnecessary attention to, the innocent guys and gals that are currently inhabiting all those chapters around the United States. And this thing's been around for couple hundred years. So there was a chapter in Missoula, Montana, just off campus. And so the brothers there, they welcomed us in, and we got to stay there for free. Didn't even ask us for any money. And we didn't have any money, so that was a good coincidence. We had a little money, and we had enough money to buy. So there was a brewery, and I think they were connected somehow. Brewery and a bread making joint across the street, so you could go into the brewery and you could buy beer by the gallon, and bring your own container, and you could buy bread 5 big long loaves at a time. So and there was a cellar. They had a pinball machine. They had a pool table. There was a television. We didn't watch much of that, but and so we'd hang out in the cellar. Unemployed from San Diego. I'd like to express unemployed from Greenland. Everybody's seen that. But we were unemployed from San Diego. We had nothing to do. We walked the roads. We hitchhiked. We went everywhere trying to find a job. Couldn't find a job. No Dude Ranch wanted us. Us two brothers. So we spent most of our time in the basement playing pool and trying to beat each other on that pinball machine. I think the high score was 7. But so we lived a full carb diet. Now, look at the diets today. You got the Atkins, which is moderate carbs, Then you got keto, no carbs, basically. You can have a certain amount depending on your weight, and it won't kick you out of keto. And the magic about keto is it loses a pound of stuff and a pound of water as long as you're on it. Every day for the first 10 days, I lost 10 pounds first time I went on it in the first 10 days keto, and then I stayed on it for 10 years. And man, well, we went on the anti-keto diet in Missoula, Montana, in the basement of the fraternity across the street from the brewery and the bread place. For 2 months, we lived off of bread and beer. Now, we're 2 guys from San Diego. We surf and we run and we do all kinds of stuff. And we were actually in a ballet class. You talk about lurkers. We felt like lechers. I just wanted to learn ballet. Really, I did. I like ballet. I really appreciate it. Oh, Jeff, look at her. So we were pretty fit guys, when we got on the road. We didn't have a bunch of money, right? So we took the Greyhound, and I think the Greyhound was, God, it was cheap, and it might have been teens, but it wasn't more than wasn't more than 20 something all the way right into Missoula, Montana, right out of San Diego, straight shot. Of course, you had to stop 5,000 times on the way, so it ended up taking 36, 48 hours, something like that. But we had a destination in place. We had called ahead, we'd talked to the guys a little bit, and so we knew we were gonna have a hangout, and we didn't ask them too much about the chances of finding the job, which we should have. If we had spent a little more time investigating, we might not never gone. Now this is 1981, so school year 80-81, right? And this is one of my best friends from home, high school. And so we were just supremely confident. We'd been hanging out for years, and we just thought we could do anything. Sure, we can go to Montana and get a job, chucking hay and, rubbing down horses or whatever. But we didn't. And it turns out there is a reason that we couldn't get hired. We always walked up together to the door, knock on the door. Yeah, we called earlier. We're interested in working on your dude ranch. Doors were slammed in our faces. I mean, there were places we went, so we were, I guess you're about, I don't know how many miles. I can't remember now, but it's 80, 60, 100 miles. I don't know. From the Canadian border, and you got that big, what's that national park? Some ice park up there, anyway. And we had gone as far north as, 50, 60, 70 miles trying to check out these different ranches and hitchhiking the whole way. And we got rides. So that was a positive. You got a lot of tourists going through there, so. But, boy, you take me and Jeff out of San Bernardino. Multicultural existence. Always has been, always will. You put me and Jeff in Missoula, Montana in 1981. We got doors slammed in our faces. So I try to keep these things light. I try to make a little fun of everything that's going on in the world. And that's still something, I'll let you read into it what you will. I'm not going to say it out loud. So we came home, heads hanging, Greyhound bus. I had to borrow enough money to get home, back to the fraternity. Then restart my janitorial job on campus so I could do the next year of studies. And so I guess it would have been a lot of fun getting out there with the animals and the hay and whatever it is people do on dude ranches when you're taking care of all the dudes and dudettes who come up there to, attempt to experience real life on the, farm, ranch, whatever, in the country. But we didn't get to experience that. All we got to experience was eating a lot of fucking bread and drinking a lot of beer and sitting in the basement playing pool and trying to beat each other on the pinball machine every day. We finally got sick of looking at each other. You know what? We should get at it. I agree. Let's get right now. Okay. Greyhound. So we left. And I still owe those guys in that fraternity. I know one guy. I owe one guy, what's his name? Kurt. Oh, hell, I've looked it up in the phone book. I owe one guy $20. He helped me get home. And then I owe the fraternity itself $20. They took it out of the till. But your kids. We were, I guess I was 21, about to turn 20. Yeah, I did turn 22 while we were there. And I think Jeff turned 20 or something. He was a little bit younger. So, all in all, I wouldn't toss that experience. If I could have been somewhere else doing something else during the time that Jeff and I spent up there that couple months, nah, not going to trade that in for anything. And some people would say, well, well, if they knew what I know, they might say, boy, that seems like an unfortunate encounter, with a lot of people. And that's the way life is. You want everybody to smile at you and say, hey, come on in, welcome, brother. Nah, I wouldn't trade it in for anything.